All right, guys, welcome to the first ever Gamers Addict Show, episode 1 podcast, P1 in the house with my best buddy,
Ghostbusters Chris. What's up, everybody?
What is going on? This is a couple of years in the making, and I am ecstatic to be here.
Yeah.
So today, episode number 1, TGA Podcast, the voice of everyday gamers, everyday regular gamers. This is the channel you want to come to hang out, have fun, and listen to a couple guys talking about 80s, 90s, things from the 2000s, nostalgia, all around. It could be mostly retro video games, because that's what we love the most, but also other things, TV shows, vintage toys, current things like Funkos, collectibles, movies. So, we're going to talk a lot about all that stuff here. And today, we just want to introduce ourselves. So, I'm going to go first, but GB, do you have anything to say before we start?
Go right ahead.
Well, right ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. No, I don't have anything to say right now, but actually, just like you said, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're going to be talking about lots of stuff more than just gaming and retro and stuff like that. Maybe if there's TV shows out that's very popular, we'll talk about. I know, like, She-Hulk just came out. That's a good one to talk about. And we're just going to be here, have fun, and just talk your ears off,
So
Go ahead, man.
So guys, just a little bit about ourselves. I am player 1. My real name is Javier, and I am originally from Miami, Florida, but now I live in South Carolina. I got into video games from a very, very young age. At the age of 5, I was playing my first Nintendo Entertainment System, and it was just a really, really great time period playing video games in the 80s. And the first game that I ever got was, of course, and a lot of people say this, Super Mario Brothers. A lot of guys my age that's probably like their first game that they played. But then later on, I got a few other games: Kung Fu, Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, Ninja Gaiden. My first role-playing game was played on a Nintendo. It was Dragon Warrior. And, from then, I started getting more consoles. I got a Super Nintendo. That was my, that was my third system. My second system was actually a TurboGrafx 16, because I was a very, very poor kid. And that was what we could afford at that time. It was the cheapest 16-bit console on the market in 1990. And I ended up getting that. And then later on, I got a Super Nintendo. And then I got a Sega Genesis, and I would trade with kids around the neighborhood. I would hustle and trade, and that's how I would get my gaming collection up, because I was a pretty poor kid. And then later on, I got a PlayStation, and the rest was history. And role-playing games and survival horror games are my favorite. And then later on in 2017, decades later, I wanted to create a show that was nostalgic and was a throwback to video games, mainly the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and Legend of Zelda was one of my favorite cartoons. So I wanted to bring that humor and that friendliness by creating this channel. And Ghostbusters Chris then came along and helped out, and a slew of others. My good buddy Captain Bogey, One Man Band, Adrian, Mega Man, and then later on I had Vincent, who helped us out with some skits, and a couple of other people who've come that way. Richard, who played Glitch for a while, and now we have another person playing Glitch. I wonder who it is, but anyways, that's just a little bit about me. I love collecting video games, mainly Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis. Those are my top 3. And now, for you guys to meet and know a little bit about my best buddy, Ghostbusters Chris.
What's up, guys? Okay, my real name is just Christian. I was born and raised in New York, and I came down to Florida and Miami when I was like around 15 years old in '94. I grew up playing video games. To be honest with you, I don't remember exactly what first game I played, video game I ever played, because I've been playing since I was probably like 2-3 years old, and they were mostly arcade games. Then it was Coleco, Atari 2600, I think it was. Then I myself had not seen a Nintendo till 1987. And that was the first time I seen one when my cousin got one. And of course, it was Mario Brothers and stuff like that. Back in the day with the arcade games, it was Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong Jr. was one of my favorite ones as a kid. I had Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I've had all the Nintendos up till now. For the handhelds, I never had the original Game Boy, but I've had the others. Besides that, I never had any other video game systems besides for PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But with Xbox, we went all the way up to 360, and we couldn't just get that. My mom was also he was. My mom was. We were also kind of poor. My mom was a single parent. She had 3 kids, first my twin brother and I, and then my younger brother when we were 11. And we just played whatever we had. We used to rent a lot of games. We used to go out and play at my cousin's house and my friend's house, whatever games they had, and like mentioning about the first role-playing game that you ever played, mine was actually Legend of Zelda, if you want to call it that. And the very first JRPG one was Final Fantasy, and that was an awesome game back in the day. Let me tell you, I was playing that in 1990. But I think a lot of the genres I like to play, some platformers, anything that looks like pixel art right now, some nostalgia, because I'm not too fond of realistic faces, like realistic stuff. Sometimes the animation just bothers me, and the pixel art ones just have better animation. I don't know, it's just me. But I love Metroidvania type games where you can just explore, level up, and have a reason to go back and forth, just have fun with it.
You like 2D platformers?
I like some 2D platforms, yeah. It all depends on the type of games. Even point and click games, I'm playing some right now. I have some on my Switch that I bought really cheap, that I haven't even started playing. Believe it or not, because they take me back in the day when I first got my PC. There were a lot of point and click games, and even like Maniac Mansion and Day of the Tentacle. Those are awesome games.
Day of the Tentacle, that was a great game. That's a sequel to Maniac Mansion.
Yeah, Maniac Mansion was hard for me, but Day of the Tentacle was just so much better. I don't know. I just enjoyed it. Probably because the animation was like a cartoon. I loved it.
Yeah. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Retroarch emulator.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to know a little bit about it because you're the one that installed it on my PC, and
I have it on the arcade.
You have it in the arcade, and all these games are at my disposal. How does this emulator work? Does one have to pay for a plan to get signed up for Retroarch? How does this whole thing work with the emulation and the ROMs? Okay,
so with Retroarch, just give me a second. Sorry about the yawn. With Retroarch, depending who says it, it's a free one. It's a free game. It basically, I want to say like this. It's kind of like an almost all-in-one emulator for old retro games. And it kind of has something called cores, which are kind of like the emulators. So it emulates emulators. So you can have it all in one place. And you'll be able to have playlists to see all your games. And once you open it, it'll open up straight to the emulator that it's supposed to play with, that you have it set up with. And at the same time, you have your controls all set up so you're ready to go. Myself, I use Retroarch for a lot of the old console games. For arcade, I still do MAME because of certain features on it. And the fact that with Retroarch, you have to pick the right emulator, the right core, I should say, in order to play a certain game. So it's like hit or miss.
Right.
That's why I have a PC in mind instead of of course, because I have like Street Fighter 5 and Mortal Kombat 11 on there, but I chose it because of that reason. I can't put MAME in RetroPie, and if you use RetroArch, So with that, it's gonna drive me crazy since most of the games I like are the arcade games.
Why can't main be used in RetroArch? What is?
Because it's like I want to say, well, MAME is in there. The thing is that I guess it uses different cores for different games, and it works with certain ones. It's not like an all-in-one. To be honest with you, I don't know, but it's just that it just doesn't work like that. It's like probably about 5 or 6 different cores you can choose from, and some of them are even SNK type. Just to play a game and it goes, sorry, it doesn't run on this core. You're like, oh, now I gotta find out which one it is and download each one, open it up, go back, and then every time you do it, you gotta make sure, okay, it's gotta open up with this one, and you gotta, manually do it. With mine, with MAME, with my arcade, with MAME, I actually have 2 MAMEs. I have one for regular arcade games, and I have one for SNK games. Since I have, we call it lit up RGB buttons that light up, whatever, depending on where, what game is playing. So, like if I play Ninja Turtles, you'll see that they'll have Raphael, Michelangelo, I forget the number.
Leonardo,
Donatello, stuff like that in their spots. I'm sorry, I can't think right now. But yeah, you'll see
you're
that.
Too excited. You're so overjoyed with this podcast that was like 3 years in the making that you can't believe that we're here.
Yeah, I know, right? It was my idea too, but look now. But we got a good software though. That's why we were able to do it. We finally found something that was easy. But so it changes the buttons and stuff. So when I go play SNK games, Neo Geo, I should say, it'll actually have the buttons on the bottom lit up exactly the way it is in the arcade. So whenever you play those games, you'll know exactly where they are all the time, and it's kind of cool. The feature that I have on the control pad actually lets me switch it to what's called X input, like an Xbox controller.
Right. So
when I play certain PC games, I can actually play it, because a lot of PC games don't let you use keyboard mapping, or if you have multiple controllers, it won't let you do it off of one keyboard. It won't. Since I have a 4-player system, there's some games that I want to have that are 4 players that I can't do it. Like if I play Streets of Rage 4, it won't do it with the keyboard. It's gonna, for 4 players, you're gonna have to say like you have 4 controllers. So when I switch it over with the little button input, it'll just go whoop, switch over, and now I can read the controllers just like if I was using an Xbox controller. And all the games that I put on there have to be single stick, not dual stick.
And a lot of times when you're using a computer, right, and you have the RetroArch, if you're using a Microsoft Windows Xbox controller, obviously, it'll automatically detect the controller and it'll set up your controls by default, right?
Yep.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about this Launchbox?
Launchbox?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the past, Launchbox is basically what's called the front end. It's what you see in the front. Everything else is, what system is playing, what this does, and all that stuff is in the background. You don't see it. Mm-hmm. So basically, when you're in Launchbox, but right now what I'm running is called Big Box. It's the paid version of it. So so you can change different themes, different looks. I like the whole theme that they have here. Like what I was going to mention before, I used to use something called Hyperspin. That was a pain in the butt to set up, but Launchbox is easy. Like it'll download everything you need almost automatically. And so instead of me going to, okay, let me go to Nintendo, let me look for the game, let me double click, I gotta make sure it's running this and that. No, once Launchbox has it all set up, you have your emulators here, you have your games here, your ROMs here. Your ROMs will go to whatever emulator you told it to, especially if it's let's say it's on Nintendo. On Nintendo's gonna open up a RetroArch with this core. Boom, done. And then what it does, it just makes it look all nice and colorful. So all you do is choose the system you want, then you choose the game, and then once you press it, you're playing the game right away. As you can see, I have little videos, so you can see previews and stuff.
Little videos.
And I have a second screen. You can't see the whole thing, but it's the same size as this one. But I have it so the marquee changes. And that's something they added that I love that that Hyperspin had. But Hyperspin had to use another program, and then you had to set up another thing, and then Hyperspin was a pain in the butt to set up because there was like at least 3 or 4 components you have to set up in order for it to work. But
and something really cool is that you showed me recently was that you're able to get the instruction manuals right?
Yeah,
From these games. I was
because
like blown away. I just saw it on my computer. I was like, what? These people have these instruction manuals? Does that mean that these people actually grab the actual manuals, I'm thinking, and they scan
so
those things, right?
what happens is, let's say like this with Hyperspin. In order for me to get icons, videos, whatever, I have to download them from somewhere, and I have to do it manually for each game, and it has to be set up a certain way because of the MXL files or whatever. With Launchbox, it actually has a database that knows which game is what, and it'll show the whole title when it knows, oh, I know this name of this ROM, it's this game. And what it'll do is with EMU movies or something like that, I'm not so sure how you pronounce it, it'll go ahead and actually download images besides their database. You choose what type of images you want, like marquee, the logo, manuals, as you said. If you want a 3D box, if you want a cartridge or whatever, depending on the themes that you have to, it'll show it. You get to choose what you want, especially from eMovies, which also download the movie files. If you don't want, like I have, videos and artwork, it'll tweak just the videos, and it'll download everything for you automatically. You don't have to go looking online for it. You don't have to set up anything. You don't have to put it in a certain folder. You just go click, press, download, boom, you're done. And now it even does, the bezels for the arcade games. So, the stuff that's around the screen, it'll even do it for you too. So if you go to Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, we had that 4:3 aspect ratio, that square. It'll fill the sides with some type of artwork. If it's not for the game, it's going to be for the system. So you don't have like, empty screen, empty space on the sides or whatever.
That's really neat. And how much do you pay for this?
For the system, for Launchbox, I think I paid, what was it, for a lifetime was $75. Right. Is it worth it? Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Because almost every month they're updating something, they're fixing something, they're adding something, they're changing something, making it better. And in the past, when I first had Hyperspin, because you have to use Hyperspin as the front looking of it, then you use something called Hyper Launch. In order to run the games, you have to make it work with Hyperspin. And if you wanted to do the marquees, there's another program to work with it that you have to find somewhere, and didn't figure out how to make it, how to make it work, because the instructions make no sense, and I don't know why it does it, but this program does it all in one shot, and you don't even have to think about it. You just add your games, it'll download the information, it'll look for the images you chose, it'll look for videos, put it in, boom, you're ready to go. With Launchbox, it's free, but if you want to pay for let's say the big box, which is what I use here, and get all those updates for free for a lifetime, it's worth it. That's all I gotta say. It's easy to use, it's worth it, and I never had weird bugs happening with this system at all.
Well, let me tell you something. Emulation has come a long way, and it's you can play Emulation now, and it feels very, very close, if not as close as you can get to the real thing.
Mm-hmm. And they even have Switch emulation and Xbox 360 and Xbox One emulation.
Yeah, and even with what's going on, like with games like retro games that are very costly. A lot of these games, they're hundreds of dollars. The best way to play them is through emulation, at least, because. Yeah. Getting a copy of Albert Odyssey on Sega Saturn is like $500, maybe more. Hotful Mail, I seen it. I love that game. Sega CD is like $600. Where am I going to play that? Only through emulation, probably, because I'm not going to spend that kind of money. But
yeah.
What? So you said, what is the system, the top system on this Retroarch that you can play, like the most recent system?
To be honest with you, I don't know. It's probably up to maybe PlayStation. I'm not too sure. Since I don't have PlayStation on my system yet, I haven't even tried. I can look it up, but
and we can, because we have a share screen here. Right, but anyway, that's pretty interesting stuff that you mentioned there, and I just wanted people. I wanted to have a good knowledge of what the Retroarch is,
Mhm.
and with you explaining it, it gave me a little bit more detail on how that works. So it
Mhm.
is pretty cool because I use it a lot. I have my controller here, my PlayStation controller, which connects to it, and it is, pretty awesome, to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good to play with on the original systems, but if you can't, like, either don't have it or you gotta pull it out somewhere, plug it in, do all this stuff, especially when you don't have a setup yet, where you can just plug everything in. It's easier just to emulate it, just to play, something, something for fun if we're doing like a let's play or something. But with emulation, I know in the past, it was excuse me. It was seemed. Oh my God, so sorry. It would seem to be more like, oh, it's pirating.
Wake up, boy! Don't make me give you a Red Bull right now.
No, I'm not sleepy. It's just I'm talking too much. But it's that it was deemed like pirating. Oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. You should buy the game. But there are a lot of games that are hard to find. There are a lot of games you can't. They don't even sell anymore, or even probably don't even exist, and you can't even play it. It's hard to find. Right now, emulation, the way things are going now, with how a lot of people are into physical gaming, but digital is actually taking over. That's why a lot of the games I have are digital, because there are a lot of indie games and stuff that I get, and they're inexpensive. They're getting for like sometimes $3. On the Nintendo Switch, and there's because Nintendo doesn't lower there's less than $42. But it's more like, what do you call it? It's game preservation now.
Yes, game preservation.
Because now there's a lot of games that you can get that are digital that you probably won't even see anymore, because they say nope, we're gonna take it off. I mean, it happened to a bunch of games. It happened to the most popular one was Scott Pilgrim, and for that I actually bought it. And I do have somewhere an emulation version of it, but I still bought it.
I mean, buying it and having it digitally is definitely more convenient. But even when when they close certain stores, like when they closed the Wii U shop and the 3DS shop, and there were certain games on there, and unless if you didn't download those games and you had purchased them, they're gone.
Yeah, unless you find a bootleg copy or emulated version of it.
Copy, so
that's the only way you're gonna play them again.
You get good deals out there. That's good too. But speaking of good deals, I wanted to go ahead and switch it up and talk to you guys about my summer pickups. Now, during the summer, I was able to get quite a bit of games, and obviously this is a 1-hour show, so I cannot show you everything. But I picked some of the best things that I found throughout the summer. I found a lot of things during the summer, some really good deals. So I was going to show it here for the first time. So obviously, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Ghostbusters Chris knows what I found, because he's my best buddy. So he knows already. So Chris, try to act a little bit surprised, okay? So anyways, the first thing I found, I showed this to Chris, was not video game related, but it's so cool. Is this
oh, sorry.
Garfield phone from 1978. And I don't know.
Wow, a year before I was born, bro. A year before we were born, actually.
Yeah, man, year before we were born. Oh, we're dating ourselves, but yeah, man, it's in
Come
great
on, man, we look good, man. What are you talking about?
You look good.
No, that actually looks good, man. Compared to a lot of people, they do let's say a cheap look of it, a cheap drawing. It almost looks like the character, but not exactly.
Yeah, no,
that one looks just like Garfield.
It's heavy and it's nice. All right, that's the only thing that I wanted to show that wasn't gaming related. But here are some of the video games. First one I want to show you guys is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, Ultimate Sith Edition. So this is an Xbox 360 title, and it's a steel case. Oh, right.
Let me tell you, that was a fun game. I even like part 2, even though a lot of people didn't like it. I mean, to feel like a god and actually use force powers. I used to love throwing the lightsaber out and killing everybody with it and bringing it back. It was fun. Just throwing people at each other. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for steel case titles. Love them. Next game. I hear this game is very, very good, and I played some of it already. Half-Life 2. Have you ever heard of this, Chris?
Yeah. Sorry, I have a my screen is over here, and I have a bar holding it, it's covering it. But Half-Life 2, isn't that like 3 games right there? I see
It's a bunch of
Half-Life.
games. It's a whole
I see
collection.
Portal, and what's the other one?
Team Fortress 2.
Okay.
So I guess that's like it looks like a Fortnite type of game. But
Yeah, it's one of the ones that had the Fortnite style. I don't know if it played like that. I think it played more like, what's the other game?
Destiny.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like Destiny, Overwatch. That's the one I'm thinking about, Overwatch. That's another one. Like I told you before, I think they're coming out with a remake on that one.
Yeah, this game looks great. I really liked I played the introduction of it, and really, really fun. And I love zombie games, and this is like a throwback to George Romero films, so definitely really cool. Here's a rare GameCube title.
Eternal Darkness. Yeah, man, people are wanting that to be remade. I think I told you the story. I remember one time I was with my cousin. He's a big gamer still. This is when he was like 14 years old. And he goes, yo, pick me up from school. So I pick him up from school. And he goes, okay, so what's wrong? He goes, nothing. Let's just go to GameStop. We go to GameStop. He goes, I'm going to buy this game called Eternal Darkness. It's awesome. You should check it out. I go, all right, I'll buy it. So I bought the game. I played it. I was like, whoa, this game's crazy. At one part, they actually make you think your system is messed up. It messes with your head. But yeah, man, it's a cool game. And that's why a lot of people want it to be remade. Probably because, the graphics are kind of outdated. But one game,
Nintendo title. It's a Nintendo title.
I know, and they only did that one game.
Rated immature. That's like
they're sleeping on it, bro.
Yeah.
The one game for GameCube that I really would love to see remade, just update the graphics a little, would be Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue League.
Oh, cool.
Well,
here's a game up Ghostbusters Chris's alley.
Yeah, I actually played Metroid Prime 1. I never played 2 or 3, don't kill me. And when 4 comes out, I'm getting it. I already beat Metroid Dread. That game was awesome. I love the way they sped it up, too. The way you can just run around and just attack and just go through the levels. It's so much more fun. That's the way they should keep it. Looks awesome.
Just keep it simple, right?
Yeah. Well, they made it better. She just doesn't go slow. She's running and actually attacking. Soul Calibur, that's the one for GameCube with Link on it, man. Didn't they have for PlayStation? They had Yoda, and I think for
PlayStation had Yoda, right?
Xbox. Who did they have in Xbox? Was it somebody from Tekken? I don't remember, man.
Man, I'm curious now. Who was the Xbox one?
Soul Calibur.
You can look that up. You can share it here. I wonder who it was. While you look that up, there's another game. I found this Capcom pirate game, Zack and Wiki.
Oh, I never heard of that game.
Yeah, it totally got me there.
I think it had Spawn.
Oh, Spawn, that's right, Spawn. Mm-hmm. Here's another game.
Was that Street Fighter? Can't even tell.
Donkey Kong 2.
Oh, Donkey Kong Country 2.
Super Nintendo. And Donkey Kong 3. Super Nintendo. These are fun games. I had part 1, so I definitely needed 2 and 3. And it was a good deal, so I couldn't pass it up. Here's I guess this would be, well, I'll leave this one for last.
You gotta say it, man. I can't even see
Earthworm Jim 2. Right there.
They just put that on the virtual console.
Yeah. Man, that camera looks good.
Had to make it bigger on my screen so I can see it.
Spider-Man, Separation Anxiety.
I never played that one, but I did play Carnage. That was hard, bro.
Yeah, it was hard. This is fun though. I have it on the Genesis as well. Obviously, this is a hit for all of us.
That was the first remade game we've ever played.
Yeah, was it? It probably was, right?
Yeah, the only time I've ever seen where they remade a video game with enhanced graphics.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, that is the first remade game that I played too. And here's the one that I really
Yeah, I played that a little bit. I actually rented it back in the 90s, yo. Bro, the Super Nintendo was such a... It came out in 92 and it ended like in 97. Oh, yeah, had a regular span of stuff, but everybody was so into it, man. It was like everybody just ported it. And when you look at the quality of the games from even the Nintendo, but there's a reason why Nintendo looks different. But the quality of the games that they had for Super Nintendo from the beginning till near the end was so different because I don't know. There was a lot of companies that would make just, oh, here's a license. Let me just throw some stupid thing about on it. I think LJN was one of them, of course.
Oh my God!
Let's say, like when you look at, it has a certain feel, and they all have a certain sound to it too. Like when you know Super Nintendo has certain tones and certain sounds. Like if you listen to a Game Boy, they have certain tones, certain sounds that they use. Even Atari had it, and Nintendo had it.
Genesis had it too.
Yeah, they all have. You know, when you hear the tones, you can tell what system it's from. But with what was it going to? So yeah, one of the games that they had in the beginning, like Wayne's World, I played. You know, stupid body, big head. I just have a guitar, I'm running around, platformer, doing stupid stuff. Home Alone, or some other games that just you never even seen before or know the characters. They just feel similar. It's just like, here, I'm just making a game just because, you know, just to sell money, just to make, you know, just to sell money, just to sell games and make money. That's it. You know, they had the good classics like, of course, you know, like Legend of Zelda and stuff. Super Contra was one I played with my friend Miguel in New York a lot at his house, and
that was a great title.
And Super Double Dragon, which was one of my favorites. I love the way you grab somebody on the arm, you kick them in the face, and that was just so cool. I really liked it. But then you look when you get closer to the end of the system, they actually took the time to make good games, you know. And there were a lot of stupid, stupid try to make some money off of this little game, whatever type thing, you know, stupid cheap games that just not worth playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for Nintendo, actually, I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if you noticed, like, when you look at a lot of the Nintendo games, they look kind of like, you know, regular, whatever, not so much to it, kind of flat. But then they started having better games that had a lot more background, a lot of more details, a lot more stuff to it, and things like that. Yeah. And that's because even though the system
Castlevania 3, Little Samson, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Ninja Gaiden 3 looked good.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 3 was good. But the Gaiden, I forget how you say it. But the thing is that a lot of since the system couldn't run games, a certain amount of type of games or whatever, what they would do is the manufacturers or the people who are making the games, they would add more RAM chips or other stuff to the cartridge in order to make it better, in order to make the game run better. Sorry for hitting my mic.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, they would do stuff like that. And if you look in the past of the games that came out to near the end, you start seeing like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy how they were able to push that 8-bit system to look even better. Like you said, Castlevania 2, that was awesome looking, you know. And even if you look at what is it called, Battle of Olympus, which reminds me a lot of Legend of Zelda 2, that actually felt better to play than Legend of Zelda 2. Don't kill me on this. I just never liked Legend of Zelda 2. Even when I was a kid.
Zelda 2. I don't know.
I just didn't like it. Probably the way it controlled and stuff like that. But when you play Battle of Olympus, it was a little bit more, you know?
Well, the next thing I wanted to talk to our viewers about is the release of the Sega Genesis Mini 2. It's going to come out on October 27th, and it's going to retail for they have it for $99, $99.99 or whatever on Amazon. So you can pre-order your Sega Genesis Mini 2 now. And they recently released a video of all the games that it's going to come with, and we're going to show you those games right now, and we're going to look at them together for the first time. So are you ready, Chris?
I'm ready.
All right, so I'm going to pause that, and here we go. Let's take a look at these games. And we're a work in progress, but here we go. Okay, I see. Here. And here we go.
Sega Genesis Mini 2 featured games.
Oh, that's right. It's got Sega CD.
Put down a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot. I think a lot of these games were
Fantasy Star 2.
Yeah, a lot of the games like on Genesis and on Genesis CD. If I'm correct, that's what's gonna be adding to this.
Yeah, some Sega CD games are coming
Sega
on
CD.
there.
Yes, Sega CD. There we go. Sorry, I sound stupid.
Afterburner, bro.
Bro, that looks like the
It's
arcade right there. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Rainbow Islands. I've never seen this.
I was a Nintendo kid, so
Revenge of Shinobi. Everybody knows what this is.
yeah, everybody likes Part 3. They said they really like Part 3.
Oh, I have this game, Hellfire. It's good. I actually have the original part.
Yeah, it's a shmup.
Granada.
Another shmup.
These type of games are really great.
Yeah.
I didn't like this game.
Well, there's some people that love stuff like this, but then these are also PC gamers.
Shadow Dancer.
Oh, I have that in the arcade. That's supposed to that's supposed to be a Ninja Warrior. Supposed to be Ninja Gaiden for the arcade. Never seen that one before. There's a lot of the games I've never seen. Oh, this is probably this is like Contra, but from another country, so it has a different name.
Great RPG.
Oh, I've never seen this one.
Oh, who can forget this?
Oh, they enhanced the graphics on this. They changed it up, I should say.
Bonanza Brothers.
Oh wow, that looks older. Rolling Thunder 2, also in an arcade. So they put their arcade games on here. Golden Axe 2.
Golden Axe 2.
I never played 2. I played 1 and Death Adder.
I never played 2 either. Desert Strike. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was good. I used to play this a lot.
I've never played this.
Strategy game.
It looks like a Nintendo game.
Yeah, it does.
Atomic Runner.
Oh, this looks dope. Atomic Runner.
Remember Street Fighter 2022?
Ooh.
Or something like that?
I didn't know this came out on the Genesis.
Mm-hmm. Night Trap. They have that now on the Switch.
This game was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
This was
Mortal Kombat. That was Mortal Kombat. Sewer Shark. I actually played that one. That was so bad. My friend, a neighbor had that.
Is good. I have this. Lightning Force. Ninja
Warriors. I think I have this one too.
Never
There's
played
a game similar to that on Neo Geo that I like.
Elemental Master. Night Striker. What? 3?
Oh yeah, I've seen this before.
Oh, this is the
Final Fight.
This is the best version.
Yeah. Echo the Dolphin. I never played it, but people love this game.
A lot, yeah, I heard that too. I played
Sorry. Sorry about that. I Echo, stop. Sorry, that's my call. That's my wake thing. The name of the dolphin. Sylphid. I've heard of it. I've never played it though. That's what it looks like. It looks cool.
Man,
I was never good at Sonic games, yo. I was never good at Sonic games.
That one's really good.
Crazy.
One of the best.
Still to this day, I never played Toe Jam and Earl. I gotta try it. It looks. Was it Interplay that did it?
I never played this. Oh, wow. I remember this. Seeing this in the magazines a lot.
Retro Racing. Wow, they have a lot of games, man.
Yeah, bro.
Holy. Oh, Fatal Fury 2. That was like the third popular game in my pizzeria, bro. Besides Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat.
They went all out with this licensing, huh?
Yeah, the Future Race 3. Another Outrun. A second game, Outrunners.
All right, we need Radmobile in here.
Imagine it has it. Shining Force 2.
Wow. Oh, that was a great RPG. Played not too much of it, but
it looks good for back in the day. Wow, that even looks good. Another one. It's all because the CD one.
Oh, the Sega CD one, yeah.
Viewpoint. Another smut type game. It looks like Zexon. Play Fighters. Oh my god. Playing the Elvis guy or the opera chick. Never played this one. Of course, remember I played both Nintendo.
This is that was fun.
94 CD.
94 CD.
That looks like it had a lot of content, yo.
Oh, this game's very expensive to get physically. It's like $600-$700 just to get Crusader Senti. It was supposed to be like Legend of Zelda. I have this. I got this in Retro Game Treasure.
Wow, that looks cool. Alien Soldier.
Oh, I have this as well. I found this at a yard sale for the Genesis.
This Interplay did a lot of animations like that and Boogerman.
I have this as well. This was
you know what that looks like? Mario
I have this
RPG.
too.
It looks like Mario RPG.
Yeah, I got this at a yard sale too. Oh, look at that!
Special
What's the
content.
special games? Fantasy Zone.
Yeah. It's based on an arcade game too, and they have it on Nintendo. Star
Star
Mode.
Mobile.
Oh, that looks like a Neo Geo.
They
type
were
game.
probably like,
Like,
okay, we got a little bit of room on this Sega
yeah.
Mini. Let's put these in.
Look at that. It's like Magic. The other game was like Magic. What's it called? Magic Drop. Oh, I don't even know. What is it? Devi. What the heck? Devi and P. Puyo Puyo.
I've never seen this.
This is a popular one in Japan. It's like Tetris, but played differently. Space Harrier 2.
Oh, this
I didn't know
reminds
there
me
was
of
a
3D World Runner.
Yeah. I mean, that was Space Harrier, I think, came first or after. But wow.
More compact, more advanced.
They really.
Sega Genesis Mini 2 is here.
I wish it would come
Wow.
with the Sega CD, you know? Build a tower of power.
I think there was supposed to be like an attachment or something to the Genesis to look like a Sega CD, but you play like that. But man, that's cool, bro. That's a lot for real.
Pretty dope, right?
Man, Nintendo didn't even give you that much for Super Nintendo. And the Super Nintendo Mini. Wow, that was crazy, yo. And there's a lot of games I never played before or even seen or heard of.
Yeah. So yeah, so what's the game that you would say you're looking most forward to in that lineup?
Honestly, I would try some of the RPG games like Phantasy Star. I know people have told me that that's a good game. I've never played them, of course. And again, that's a Sega game. I would probably try it out, especially the CD one. It looks like it'll have a lot of have a lot of content in it, and just even from back then, the way it looked and the way it kind of animated, that was crazy. That would have been cool as hell just to watch, just to play that game, actually. You know, and
for me as well, I would say the RPGs, but it just looks great. I mean, having Final Fight CD, I mean, having Sonic CD, having the Streets of Rage in there. I mean, just all of those games put together. I mean, they went all out with this one. I really like the first one. I think it was great, but this second one is wow. It's gonna do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get it.
The first one gave you the classics. This one's giving you, even more stuff that they that people have either played a lot of or haven't played.
Mm-hmm.
So especially that one game you said that's like Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be $600. I forget the name of it, but I'll try that game out, man, for real. That game actually looked good.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to pick that up. $99. It's a good deal.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
So I would recommend you guys get it. Another cool thing that I read about is let me see if I can share this here. It's a work in progress, guys. It's a work in progress.
I'll get better at talking. We're gonna be more comfortable doing this, guys. So don't worry about it. We can have a conversation.
Yeah, we're having fun here, and this is the type of show that you can just be yourself. You can mess up, and it is what it is. We're all human, and we're having fun here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I want to share this.
Now, I do want to say this. I don't know if you ever thought of this, but if this segment, this type of series of the podcast stuff actually gets a little bit better, like gets actually popular, maybe what we'll do is once in a while we'll come on live and talk to everybody and have a conversation with you guys and just talk about whatever.
Well, yeah, definitely love to go live. Now, okay, I got it now.
We can even play games like this.
I got it. There we go. So this was something I found on a site, the Return, and hold on, let me get us together there. There we go. We're together there. So Sunsoft announces their return actually, and they're coming back with 3 retro titles, which are going to be on the way.
I bet you one of them's going to be Adventure Island.
Well, it's 3 games I have never heard of. One is called Gimmicky, which is a 1992 action platformer that was released on the NES and Famicom. And I don't know, has built a cult following throughout the years. So there's a picture of it right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right here.
Yeah.
And The other two games are, let me see.
Scroll down.
Called Icky.
Okay, Icky Unite.
Icky Unite, and then the other one is called Euphoria the Saga, also known as Prerecorded in Japan, is a 1991 action platformer described as a Metroidvania before the genre officially existed.
No.
Here's help to
What year did that come out? Metroid came out. That's the only first game I ever played that actually had upgrades and stuff like that.
So
and then when
this one
Symphony of the Night came out, I doubt it came out before Metroid came out.
Yeah, but it's pretty interesting that Sunsoft is making a comeback to video games, because I remember playing Blaster Master on the NES, Master's Quest, Batman. Those are really good.
The music was great on them, yo. The music was actually great. They had some good music on it, especially with Batman. And like on the Switch, who was it that made the game, man? I forget the name of the companies. I'm bad at this. I'm sorry, guys. I don't pay attention to stuff much. But I played Blaster Master Zero, which was a lot of fun. It actually plays better to me. I think it plays, of course, enhanced, gameplay and controls. Plays better, and they had extra stuff. It plays better than the original.
Yeah.
Now if I go back to play the original, I can actually play the game now. I actually tried it. I was like, oh, now I can actually play. When I was a kid, I just played. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I had to do. I never went far. It was so hard, that game. So I played Blaster Master 0, 1, 2, and 3 actually happened. They're really good games, and they all play a little bit differently in how you level up and how you control stuff. But they're great, and they actually have a story now, so that's a good thing.
Well, in other news, and this is probably the last thing that I'm going to talk about, is there is going to be Sony's PlayStation is making steps towards making a movie, a full feature-length movie of Days Gone. So Sony PlayStation Productions will be headlining this, and this was pretty interesting to me because, the Days Gone game did really well. And
is that the one you kept saying that I look like one of the characters?
Yeah, you look like
oh my God.
You look like Deacon St. John's friend. His name is it's with a B. I keep forgetting. Chris, you better get that picture of this guy so we can show everybody here. Deacon St. John's best friend, Boomer. I don't know, but anyways. I was pretty surprised by this because the game did well. Everybody,
Boozer?
What's his name?
Boozer.
That's right.
I don't look like him.
Yeah, you do, bro. Put that picture up, guys. Let's put that picture up here. You gotta share it. You know how to do it.
No, I know. I'm looking for a good. This one has eyes closed. How the heck did I take a picture of a game character with his eyes closed?
No, that is definitely you. So I will tell you.
The guy from Star Wars Unleashed is in there. Let me share this. Hold on.
Yeah, share the screen of Boozer. So yeah, this game was really great. I played this game like 2 or 3 times. I played it through, and it's like you're killing zombie hordes, you're doing missions, you're protecting towns, you're saving people. In the meantime, you're trying to find your wife who you end up getting separated from, and the whole, global pandemic of zombies and all that stuff. But this is really cool. It's going to be the director of the X-Men's First Class. Oh,
wow.
Turner. He'll be, I believe that's the name, Sheldon Turner. I don't know if that's, He's the guy who did X-Men First Class. And, it's going to be big. I can't wait to see it, man. So and basically, it's PlayStation Productions is the same production company that was behind the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland. So this could be, guys, you guys tell me in the comments here. That is definitely my good buddy Ghostbusters Chris.
Well, first off,
There you go.
You
The
know,
bald head.
he has a lower brow, and he's skinny. So
No, and you know what? And then you know the you know why I say also, if you never played the game, Boozer is the most loyal friend that Deacon St. John has. Like he'll give his life for him. That's the same way you are. You know, you're.
Mhm.
I feel like when I was playing that game, I felt like you were in that game with me. You know, because a lot of the characteristics of Boozer are the same as Ghostbusters Chris. Like good hearted. He wants to do the right thing. Friendly. Always wanting to help. Sacrificing himself for others.
Secretly evil. I'm playing.
Fighting evil. Like, yeah, the guy was a badass in the game. I loved it. So yeah. So that's, you know, pretty much. I'm excited about this. You know, so other things that come to my mind as well is that they have a Last of Us TV show, right, or TV production that's coming on HBO, I believe. That's what I heard. I saw some pictures of what they were doing. So
What's the name? Sorry.
Last of Us.
Oh, Last of Us. Yeah.
So that'll be pretty interesting to see. And
I mean, they can use the same actors. I mean, don't they look similar to them? I guess I don't know.
we'll see. I wonder who they're gonna cast. I think the girl for The Last of Us should be that girl from Stranger Things. What was the girl that almost died? She looks like her.
Oh, really? I haven't played. I haven't played that. I played a little bit of that game because my brothers were playing it, so I didn't have a chance to do it. Plus, I was working and stuff and working on the side, so I get a chance to play. But the game, the way they again, I always mention the animation, the way they acted. Of course, it was motion capture. It felt like you're watching a movie, a good little movie. Even like Detroit, Detroit Only Human.
Yeah.
It feels like you're watching a movie, and that's how good it sweeps you into it, and you forget that you're watching a game. So they did a good job with that. I mean, again, I haven't really played the game, but just watching the videos is kind of cool. And if you ever get bored too online, go ahead and watch what game is it called? Injustice 1 and 2 and Mortal Kombat 10 and 11's cinemas. It's about 3 hours long, but bro, they did a good job with the story. Let me tell you.
Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us here on our first ever episode of the TGA Podcast. It was a lot of fun talking to you guys, and I'm glad that you guys were able to spend time with us and get to know us a little bit more. Next show, we're planning to have a special guest. We plan to have special guests on every show, and it's going to be fun. Yeah, if possible, because we never, you never know what could happen. But we plan to have a special guest on the next show, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to come back with a lot of excitement, and we may even do some gameplay here live. But if you want to be a guest on the Gamers Addict show, go ahead and shoot me an email. If you're in the gaming world and you want to come on here and talk about some of the stuff that you're currently playing, or if you're it doesn't matter if you're a game developer,
Player,
champion game player, speed runner, anything. We want to hear your experiences. We would love to have you here on the show. So yeah. So guys, any last words, Ghostbusters Chris?
Nah, just can't wait to do the next one.
And there you have it, guys. All right, guys. I'm now gonna be saying, Player One is gonna be saying now, game over.
Peace and love, guys.
TGA